I know you had a sit-down interview with Thomas Muller. For once in his career, he's going through a goal-scoring drought. Is that putting his future in Munich at jeopardy?
No, he is in a position where Bayern can't even contemplate selling him. You know, they have a riot on their hands. The city of Munich would probably, go on a strike or something. There's just no way that he will not be part of the future setup. But the problem is, under Ancelotti's preferred system, a 4-3-3 of some sort, he doesn't really have a natural position. When they've changed it, sometimes it has worked, but on the whole for him, in terms of his stats, it's been a very poor season. And you know, you take the goals out of Muller's game, he doesn't always offer that much by way of combination football. It's not really his strength. He doesn't create goals by himself, which he himself admits quite readily. So at the moment, he looks a little bit like a man lost. And of course, Bayern on the whole, despite decent results, look like they're still not quite themselves. And that's why Muller and the whole of Munich, they're a little bit on tenterhooks, a little bit edgy, a little bit nervous going into this key period now with the big Champions League games against Arsenal coming up very soon.
Raf, what's Muller's future there in the short term? Because he's been in and out of the starting lineup, which is a rarity.
Yeah, but although, you know, I've looked at his stats and he has played in 15 out of 18 games in the league. He's played in all 6 games in the Champions League. So it's not as if he's been shunted. I think it's more on the pitch he's struggling to find his position. He's struggling to find pace, struggling to find space, struggling to find almost his own game. And, you know, Bayern have enough options, especially behind him when it comes to having an additional midfielder, what Ancelotti himself, I think, prefers, to say, you know, if you're not scoring, we will have a slightly different setup. And that's the big problem for him. At the same time, he's such a big player that Ancelotti cannot leave him out in these big games, certainly not too many of them. So it's a bit of an uneasy situation for everyone's concerned. Everybody wants him to score goals, but while he's not scoring goals, he's scratching his head. The team are not quite sure. And I think Ancelotti himself isn't quite sure whether he should stick with what he thinks is right, which is a third midfielder, or sort of fulfill the wishes of the team to a certain extent, certainly the wishes of the crowd who always want Müller on the pitch behind Lewandowski.
Raf Honigstein, Bundesliga/romantic affair divorce expert, as always. I mentioned Raf's interview, Sit Down with Thomas Muller, wide-ranging. You can check out more from that on the website, espnfc.com.